intuitive eating example strategy. So I've talked about how I like these simple Cheetos. They're not the worst thing in the world in terms of processed food, but I've been thinking, can I do better? Can I have a different snack that I like and just make it less processed? Because it's not about denial or anything other than I want to feel good, not just when I'm eating it, but I want to feel good in my life long term too. So I'm thinking that's pretty processed, and there's a lot of talk about, how that food is really bad for you. So I pay attention to that. Yes, I do. But I'm only gonna not eat that if I find something else that I like as much and that may not be as processed, whatever. So I found something. So I've talked before about how I used to love popcorn, and I would make an enormous amount and sit there and eat it like with no butter but just a bunch of salt, which salt is fine, but it wasn't joyful. It was just like, how many chews can I get for the calorie? Like, that's what I was always looking for. Like, how much bang can I get for the buck? Okay, well, that huge thing of popcorn is only this amount of calories. Okay, that's not how I do it now. But I still, in the back of my head, thought, I really do, or used to like popcorn. This is what I do now. I use this big pot, actually, and I make, it's just Orville Redenbacher or something, and I use real oil. I use avocado oil because, again, being an intuitive eater doesn't mean ignoring nutrition. It means just not judging it so harshly like it's evil, like a food is evil. Like those Cheetos, they're not evil, but could I replace them and it'd be better? Okay, again. So I make in that bigger pot right there a bunch of popcorn, and then I use the avocado oil because, again, it's good. Then I put melted butter and Parmesan cheese on it, so it's very delicious. And I have a serving size that's probably like would fill one of these bowls, so reasonable. And I sit and I enjoy it 100% tremendously. And I'm using really good butter and really good Parmesan, like the real Parmesan, not like the thing in the green can, and salt. And I actually sometimes even put this Celtic salt on it, which I'm a big fan. I love salt, so I'm a salt connoisseur, and I put that on. I have to crunch it because otherwise it's too big. Anyway, so I get to enjoy that, and it's not like I'm using air pop popcorn. It's delicious with oil and fat on it, and it's less processed than the other, the Cheetos thing that I've kind of been eating lately. And so I feel good about it, and the pleasure of the food is not diminished at all. As a matter of fact, it's probably a little better because it's warm and delicious. And then I leave it on the stove. And I needed this pot the other day, so I put it in the little pot, and I just leave it there. And whenever I want some, I have it. And so that probably had that a few days, and I just nibble on it when I feel like having that. And so the point I'm trying to make, because people always talk about nutrition, like, oh, intuitive eating, what about nutrition? You just use it as a guide in terms of, could you make a choice that's maybe better for you? Again, processed food, everyone, that's a pretty big consensus that processed food isn't great for you, that you could eat and just enjoy just as much. So that's the kind of thing that you do as an intuitive eater. You pay attention to how the food makes you feel in that moment, but you also recognize long-term, if I eat this all the time as a snack that I enjoy, is that really great for me? Okay? I hope that makes sense. I was going to say something else about it. Oh, yeah, and it's way cheaper. That's what I was going to say. Like that Orville Redenbacher big-ass thing of yeah. So that's good, too. I always say intuitive eating is less expensive than any other kind of eating. And so, yeah.